Hello, welcome to the Fluent Nerd, where we do stupid French things. This is an alternate universe. I am one of your hosts, Neil.
I am Leslie.
Leslie.
This is a show where we discuss a love-hate relationship with the most famous and infamous movies, franchises, games, and shows of the nerd world.
The nerd world.
Yeah.
French.
I went German. All right, welcome to the Fluent Nerd, a not-so-serious discussion on all things nerdy. I'm Z.
I'm Neil.
This is a show where we discuss our love-hate relationship with the most famous and infamous franchises, movies, shows, and games of the nerd world. And this week, we're talking about...
The Three Musketeers, 1993 version.
Not 2, not 4, 5 is right out.
The Holy Hand Grenade, my lord.
Indeed. The Three Musketeers,
Yeah.
1993.
And before anyone gives us any shit for this...
Yeah.
It's our podcast.
Go fuck yourselves.
This shit's nerdy.
Yeah. We decide what's nerdy. You don't. You have no say on it. You're just going to sit here and listen.
Yeah. Just sit here and listen to it.
You dweebs.
Please.
Also send us money.
Yeah. One of the main reasons I think this is super nerdy is Tim motherfucking Curry, the King of Kings.
Indeed.
As Cardinal Richelieu.
Richelieu.
And I apologize ahead of time.
I
will
don't
be doing
apologize for anything.
Many offensively bad French accents during this.
I refuse to apologize for anything.
We got inspired to do this after Dragon Con, where Z thought it'd be funny if we did Musketeer cosplays.
Well, we had three people in a group, and I wanted to make fun of French people at the same time.
Yeah, it fit
there we go.
perfectly.
Yeah. And Neil likes to wear flurry of fluffy hats and, big flowy
Were you about
things.
to call flurry? It's almost like you were about to call me a furry, which I am not.
Like you're offended because I didn't call you a furry. I just almost did.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, I get frustrated in my head about things you're about to call me. Anyway, I'm constantly on edge. The movie begins where we end up in a dark dungeon underneath the palace, where Cardinal Richelieu, played by Tim Curry, again, our Lord and Savior.
Richelieu.
Richelieu.
Ricolau.
It's said like 7,000 different ways in the movie because
no one in that movie even tries to do a French accent.
No, the director probably said, whatever you're comfortable with, who cares? Yeah. No one's going to give a shit. Except for
a movie with Charlie Sheen.
Assholes in a podcast like more than 20 years later.
Yeah.
So, less than 20 years later. I'm a moron.
1993.
No, more than 20 years later.
Good job.
I could math, then I couldn't math, then I could math again. Anyway,
Good job.
Here's the fucking plot. We're very early on shown that the Cardinal is an evil man because he has a thief who stole from his carriage.
Also because he's played by Tim Curry.
You're not wrong.
That should just be a hint that he's a fucking bad guy.
There are a handful of things he's in where he is not a bad guy.
Such as?
The Wild Thornberries.
Oh, where he plays Nigel McEnglishman.
Smashing.
What is his job in that show again?
He's pretty much a crocodile hunter.
Oh, so for some reason I thought he was an actual hunter.
No,
so I was like,
no, he's a nature preservation, show guy.
So that's like one thing out of like 50 that I'm going to name later. He's
Yeah.
always the fucking bad guy. That's why he's my
I'll
hero.
grant you most of the time. But we show that he's bad, and then the Captain Rochefort, isn't that a sticky kind of cheese?
Rochefort.
Is his main minion, and they're bad. It's bad.
He's Darth Vader to the Empire.
He is
the Emperor.
Oh my god. Towards the end of us watching this, just until we get into the plot a little bit more, I was starting to notice a ton of references to Star Wars. Like, not like straight up, but like a lot of parallels between these two.
A lot of the way they filmed it.
Yeah.
Like the way they moved and some of the fight scenes
and just
were very
basically
similar.
the story in general. And like Chris O'Donnell kind of looks like Luke Skywalker, like a young Mark Hamill. And
a little bit. You still haven't figured out, by the way, who
No.
Chris
Yeah.
O'Donnell
So
plays.
before we
Well,
recorded,
should I give the hints that I gave? I'm going to give the audience the hints.
Yeah.
So Chris O'Donnell's like a curly-haired dude in this movie.
He's
and
D'Artagnan.
His other big nerdy role does not have long hair. He's got shorter hair. And I said something about him being a giant dick. That's a hint.
Yeah.
And I forget the other hint that I made. Oh, yeah, you said something about him being a clown. I said, not quite.
God bless it.
Those are the only two hints you get.
Yeah.
Dick and not quite a clown.
Yeah, and I've been actively not trying to think about it. But anyway, Tim Curry, the Cardinal, Conor Richelieu, and Captain Rochefort, they disband the Musketeers, the King's Bodyguard, on the premise that they are going to war with England, that they'll be needed in the field, yada, yada, not that important. They disband. Where the captain says, if one of you rebels, we'll arrest you all, spouting the all for one and one for all. As a dick
Only
move.
a Sith.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes, damn it. But D'Artagnan, or D'Artagnan if you were to read it.
D'Artagnan.
Played by Chris O'Donnell. His dream is to become a musketeer. His father was a musketeer who died in service of the king who was murdered. So his dad was a bad musketeer, apparently. But also well respected by the other musketeers. Anyway, D'Artagnan is having a duel with Gerard because his sister was apparently doing something. Kissing, effing, we're not sure.
That guy's also played by Nigel McEnglishman.
Oh, D'Artagnan! No! That is said many times in the movie.
Yes.
They're dueling for his sister's honor. He goes, my brothers will defend me. And they come, and it's only the first 10 minutes of the movie.
And the last 2 minutes of the movie.
But D'Artagnan runs. He's going to Paris. He's trying to be a musketeer. He runs into
Gay Paris.
the 3 musketeers, roll credits, who did not show up to be disbanded. They are wanted by the Cardinal and his men.
That would be...
They are...
Porthos.
Porthos, played by... Oliver Platt.
Sure, Oliver Platt.
Come on, Z. What's the other one?
I don't fucking know. Kiefer Sutherland and Charlie Sheen.
Yes. It's Athos played by Kiefer Sutherland, and Aramis played by Charlie Sheen. Who is...
The religious one.
The religious one.
Charlie Sheen.
He must have tiger blood in his veins.
He's got some kind of blood in his veins.
We'll have to
and
use
it ain't
quotes
fucking
saying
good.
that.
He's got cocaine in his veins.
Cocaine! I do cocaine!
And the HIV.
And the HIV. He's not just sure.
God damn it. I knew you were going to go there.
He runs into each of them in passing, and at some point they offend one another, and he gets challenged to a duel by all 3 of them.
Thrice, I say.
In sequential duels, at noon, at 1, at 2. So D'Artagnan meets them at the allotted time and place, and finds out that the 3 men who had challenged him to a duels, were in fact
a duet.
The Musketeers.
Yep.
Who'd he been looking for? The duel gets interrupted by the Cardinal's men. A fight happens. Guess what? The Musketeers win, except D'Artagnan eventually gets taken in by the Cardinal's men, and things are done to him. Essentially, while he's in jail, he overhears a plot of the Cardinal to overthrow the King of France, Louis XIII.
I am le king.
Le king now. I am a king.
Le monarque de France.
Le monarque de France. He escapes that jail somehow. Again, D'Artagnan keeps getting captured and released and captured
Chateau
and
d'If.
released. Chateau d'If.
He waits till his friend dies and sews himself into a sack and then gets thrown off a cliff. That's how he gets out.
I think we're crossing over Alexander Dumas' work.
Dumas-verse.
Well, that one dude,
The dumbass verse.
Captain Rochefort,
Rochefort.
is the warden of Chateau d'If, which I had right when we were in between recording, had a fucking moment about that. So, yeah, it's in the same universe. Deal with it. So, they rush off to Calais to intercept the magical treaty, just a random treaty between the Count, not the Count, the Cardinal. I am having a very hard time with words.
The Count
today.
and the Duke of Buckingham.
Duke of Buckingham, Nigel McEnglishman himself.
Nigel McEnglishman. Uncredited role, I say.
I say.
Off-camera role.
Although Tim Curry, even though he plays that, Cardinal Richelieu is Nigel McFucking Englishman.
Well, he's Nigel McThornberry.
Mick Thornberry?
Mm-hmm. Deal.
Sure. Essentially, they run off D'Artagnan gets captured again by the Countess again. Countess de Martine. Well, I guess it's the first time he got captured by her. But she essentially strips him and tries to stab him. They get that. And then it's revealed that the Countess de Martine, who is this evil thing all along, is actually one of the wives of Kiefer Sutherland.
Aramis?
I can't remember if he's Athos or Aramis.
One of those guys.
Yeah. Athos. We were wrong on both accounts. Athos. She and Athos used to be married until he did something. He tells a story in the bar where they practiced the noble musketeering art of wenching.
Indeed.
And
I'm so noble, for I wench very well.
Yeah, guys, this is a freaking Disney movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about wenching, which is glorious. They get the treaty. She tells before she jumps off a fucking cliff that the cardinal plans to assassinate the king on this birthday celebration. They rush back to Paris, sound the musketeering alarm, all for one and one for all.
Gondor calls for aid.
Gondor calls for aid. Muster the Brohirrim. And they go to the palace. Then a huge battle ensues. It's very much like Battle of Theed in Phantom Menace.
Okay.
It's a very similar feel, I think.
A little bit.
Now I'm thinking about it. D'Artagnan, full-on Luke Skywalker's the shit out of Captain Rochefort, who is revealed that he was the one who killed his father. And
Ironic.
And not that bullshit from a certain point of view thing. He literally killed his father.
Yep.
So he, what looked like, force pulled his fucking sword into his hand. Turns out it was the girl he met earlier, which is
a lady in waiting.
A lady in waiting. And he stabs the fuck out of the bad guy. Movie comes to an end.
No.
Well, I mean,
they save the king.
They save they save the king, but like.
And Charlie Sheen
gets shot, but he doesn't get shot because the bullet hits his cross.
Because Charlie Sheen tries to punch the cardinal because he's a religious guy, but then the king's like, "Nah, bro, this is me. I'm punching the cardinal."
He's like, "No, don't do it." And you think he's gonna be all good guy, and then he punches the cardinal into the lake, and he definitely drowns in all those robes.
Absolutely.
But
he just falls to his death, and we never see him die. Much like
the Emperor
the Senate, Frank, whatever you want to call him, Frank. Let me be Frank,
Your Majesty. I think he says those exact words in this movie.
Oh, God damn it. All right. Well, that's the plot, ladies and gents.
That's a plot. We'll come back in a minute with some fun facts.
All right, fun facts.
Facts.
This is a 90s movie, thus everyone in it was in some other nerdy shit. So let's talk about that. Charlie Sheen was in Family Guy. He's been in Big Bang Theory. He was in Scary Movie 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, yeah.
And Hot Shots Part 2.
I didn't know there was a Hot Shots Part 2.
Oh, I never even saw the first one until years later. I only knew about the second one. There you go. Kiefer Sutherland was in 24, which is not really nerdy.
That guy's been in so much shit.
He's in Call of Duty World at War. World at War.
Call of Duty World of Warcraft. Crossover approved.
Family Guy. He was in the Twin Peaks movie. He was in Young Guns, Lost Boys.
Oh, yeah.
He's the main vamper.
Thou shalt not be.
Yep, and Stand By Me. All right, Chris O'Donnell, are you ready? Have you figured it out yet?
No, I have
Audience,
not.
Have you figured it out yet?
Probably.
All right, his first name's Dick. Dick Grayson.
Oh, my God.
Not quite a clown. He's an acrobat.
I knew it.
Dick Grayson.
Oh, my God.
From Batman and Robin. That's Chris O'Donnell.
Why does my head hurt so much? I'm a fucking idiot, man.
I knew you'd love that. He's also in Robot Chicken and Max Payne, the video game. There you go. That's Chris O'Donnell.
Sorry, guys. I caught a little bit of the Concrud, so that's going to happen.
Oliver Platt was in Lake Placid, Bicentennial Man, and Dr. Dolittle.
Oh, he was in Lake Placid? That's amazing.
Yeah, I love that movie. The old lady feeding the gators the whole time. All right, let's go through the paragraph of things Tim Curry's been in. I said earlier off air that it just name a thing from the 90s and he's in it. And
Which is not far off from the truth, yeah.
All right, Rocky Horror. Clue, which I just rewatched the other day. We're doing that on the show.
Okay.
The Hunt for Red October.
Oh, my God, yes.
Star Wars Clone Wars, the show.
What?
He's Dooku. You didn't know that?
I didn't.
I knew it the second he started talking.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, he's one of two Dooku's. No, he's the Emperor. He's one of two Emperors.
Oh, fuck! He really is the Emperor.
Yeah. Holy shit.
God
Holy shit.
damn
That's why
it.
we put that together. He was apparently in Phineas and Ferb. Never saw that.
I didn't either.
And then I came across something in his acting resume here called Queer Duck. Which
You were saying
apparently is
you're talking about this.
It's apparently a movie about a gay duck. It's got Mark Hamill, Billy West, and Andy Dick in it. And
So
Billy
apparently
West,
we have to do it.
yeah, that's gonna be a weird one. He's Nigel Thornberry.
Smashing.
He was in Hey Arnold, Samurai Jack, Scary Movie 2. So we've almost got every scary movie in here somewhere. He was in the Batman Beyond TV show. He was in Addams Family Reunion, The Mask TV show, All Real Monsters, Freakazoid, Muppet Treasure fucking Island, which we're gonna do, Captain Planet. I'm not done.
I'm having a freak out
He's
over
having
here.
a face over
Holy
here.
fuck.
Captain Planet. He was in an Aladdin and Little Mermaid TV show. He was in Dinosaurs. You remember that shitty?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Tales from the Crypt. Home Alone 2. Yeah.
Holy shit, he is in Home Alone 2.
Darkwing Duck. The Batman animated series. It, of course.
Of course.
And to top it off, the most 90s movie I can think of, Fern Gully.
Holy shit, he was in
He's in everything except The Brave Little Toaster.
which
Literally everything else.
Which that movie gave me existential dread as a
So
kid.
watching it, then you should never have told me that.
As a kid. But probably as an adult too.
All right, so Kiefer Sutherland, Chris O'Donnell, and Oliver Platt went to 6 weeks of fencing lessons together, and Charlie Sheen missed it because he was doing cocaine. No, he was
cocaine.
he was filming Hot Shots Part 2.
Oh, so that's why he doesn't do really any sword fighting in this, does he?
I guess. So Chris O'Donnell, Robin, kept his sword after filming, and he claimed it was an accident because he didn't return it.
You mean his father's sword?
But like every time we're like, "Ha, that's real funny. Bring it back," and he's like, "Ha, yeah, I accidentally took it," and they just ignored him, kept it. So the dungeon scenes were filmed in this place in Austria. It's an old mine that flooded in the 1900s, and it was later used by the Nazis to conduct military research. It's a really famous public underground lake, and they still have the place decorated up like a prison cell, and there's a dragon head boat and stuff still down there from when they filmed the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? All right, so here's a cool one. This is almost a fan theory, but not quite. So when Porthos throws that throwing weapon, though, like bolo,
The bolo, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, those things were not used in Europe at the time. They were only used in like Patagonia by gauchos in modern-day Argentina, which may actually support his claim that he's been all over the fucking place.
Yeah, the Queen of America gave him that sash.
Yep. So that's kind of funny. He might have actually gone over to Patagonia.
Huh.
Yeah. So Brad Pitt actually turned down the Chris O'Donnell role at first.
That would have been a very different movie.
Some other people that were almost in the movie were William Baldwin, Johnny Depp, Gary Oldman, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Carrie Ells, Robert Downey Jr., and Al Pacino.
Damn. All of those versions need to be made today.
Yeah.
With the rest of the cast intact.
Yep. So Tim Curry actually plays a role previously played by Charlton Heston in this movie, the Cardinal. He actually did that a few years later in Muppet Treasure Island. It all comes back to Muppet Treasure Island. God. Apparently Charlton Heston played Captain Long John Silver.
Cardinal Richelieu?
Yeah, and Long
Captain
John Silver.
Rochefort? Oh, I hear you saying.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yep. So when Rochefort and D'Artagnan have their fight, and Rochefort, who's all decked out in black, spins around and says, "Impressive." That's actually an homage to Star Wars Episode 5.
Impressive.
5, yeah.
Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah. When he says the same thing.
Obi-Wan has taught you well.
Old man Kenobi has taught you well.
Well,
So-
Kiefer Sutherland does kind of play an Obi-Wan role in this.
A little bit. And so when Charlie Sheen,
Athos.
when he says "see you in Calais," that's actually a reference to George Patton's quote that he yelled at Dwight D. Eisenhower from his hotel window in the same place. He said, "See you in Calais."
Calais.
Calais. Whatever. I'm not
Calais,
We warned you.
You already got my thing about the Chateau d'If.
Yeah.
So I won't say it again. But let's see what else.
I really do know.
In the shot where D'Artagnan and when he meets the Queen and Constance, you can see in the background there's a farm with like modern aluminum silos in the background.
Oh, really? I did not notice that.
Yeah.
But let's just be honest. This movie did not give a fuck about anything like historical accuracy or anything.
Yeah. Also, when Charlie Sheen says "into the line, boys" from the carriage scene, that's a railroad term. I know. They didn't have trains.
I will not repeat what I just said, but it maintains.
Yeah, so Aramis says it's 200 leagues to Calais, which is 600 miles. It's actually only 100 miles from Paris to Calais, which is like 60 leagues.
So they just thought leagues sounded cooler, so they said 100 leagues.
Well, they still could have said 60 leagues.
Yeah.
And been somewhat accurate, but no, they're just assholes. And also, when Aramis and Porthos are talking about... I forget what the fuck they're talking about, I'll be honest. But, I know it's during the execution scene. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He talks about the axe being a gift from the Tsarina of Tokyo.
Yeah.
So we already know he's a bullshitter, but now he's a time-traveling bullshitter because the phrase Tokyo was never even called that until, like, 1868.
Dude, Porthos the pirate?
Porthos the pirate is a time traveler.
He is the doctor.
Apparently.
He's the doctor.
So there you go. What have you got?
Well, my fun facts, I only have a handful of them, were focused around Alexandre Dumas.
Dumas.
The man who wrote the book for which this movie was created.
No, the movie inspired the book.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's actually a fun fact I have. Yeah. You read my notes? Fuck you.
I'm time-traveling Porthos.
So something that came up when I was watching Django one time was that they said that Jean-Pierre Dumas... Why is Jean-Pierre Dumas? Alexandre Dumas.
Alexandre Dumas.
Jean-Pierre Dumas is such a French name, I want it to be his name. Alexandre Dumas is black. He is half black. His father was a French nobleman. His mother was a black slave. But his father took him and raised him as his son, which is kind of cool. And so he was born in 1802, died 1870, so he had a pretty long life.
Where was he born?
I didn't catch that.
Because you remarked earlier that he wasn't an African American. He may have been an African American.
No, he was not actually.
Well, I don't. If he was American, that's what I'm saying.
Hold on, where was it? It was Villers-Cotterêts-en-Cher. First French Republic.
Okay,
so fuck
France.
you. Yeah, in my research it said that he was inducted in the African Americans of history. It's like he was not African American. He was black. He was not African American.
He's a man of color.
So this is pulled directly from Wikipedia. It said that though married in the tradition of Frenchmen of higher social class, Dumas had numerous affairs.
That's why Ben Franklin was our ambassador.
Allegedly as many as 40.
Yep. That's what Ben Franklin fucked his way through France in the 1700s.
This line, spoken by Watts Phillips, an English playwright who knew Dumas, this is why I think that Alexandre Dumas is you in a past life.
Possible. Described
him as the most generous, large-headed being in the world.
Okay. I can live with that.
Except now that I'm rereading it, it says hearted. I thought it said headed because he has a very large head in his pictures. I'm a moron.
These wood cuttings are so accurate.
So this guy's not you at all.
Whatever.
But it said that he has written over... his works have inspired over 200 film adaptations since the early 20th century.
I believe that.
Which is crazy that he wrote a ton of books, like over 100,000 pages of... what the fuck? Over 100,000 pages of works in over 200 films, which is kind of fucking cool. So that's my fun facts of Alexandre Dumas.
Dumas. Mitch.
On that note...
Do you know what the fuck I'm talking about?
Du hast, you fucking asshole.
Well, you didn't know who fucking Ron Zombie was.
No, Rammstein is. I went to high school. Anyway, we'll come back in a second, and we'll talk about some cooler stuff about this movie.
Yep. All right, so we did not have any fan theories for this.
Yeah, oddly enough, this movie doesn't have any fucking fan theories, except for the one we kind of touched on.
Crappy old 90s movie.
I'm being sarcastic, you fuck.
Oh, well. You didn't do a /S, so I didn't understand. Yeah. Anyway, what's your favorite part of this movie?
Tim motherfucking Curry.
Dick face. You stole my favorite part.
I'll let you talk more on that. Actually, I really enjoyed the wenching scene.
The wenching scene's good.
Because it's just Porthos sitting there with two bitches on his left and right. And he's like, "Oh, you must learn the noble art of wenching if you are to be a musketeer." And he it's awesome. And then Charlie Sheen, fuck, it's just so funny to see Charlie Sheen being like a good dude or a badass, knowing what the fuck he ended up being.
Yeah.
Just a psychotic weirdo.
Well, you just got my favorite and least favorites in one sentence. Thanks. I have nothing to talk about. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Nah, Tim Curry, man. Come on. Tim, motherfucking.
I guess we're just going to combine these because you just listed everything. But, yes, Tim Curry has the balls to shit talk the sovereign king of France, which is kind of cool. He always the way this man speaks and delivers his lines, he's just like he's a command presence.
Let me guess. Oh, there are so many rumors to choose from, Your Majesty.
But I lay with the queen.
I raise pigs to fly.
I have the moon in the folds of my cloak.
I am from transsexual on the planet. Wait, no, that's a different
I'm
movie.
a transsexual transvestite from Transylvania.
Vania.
Yeah.
That may be a different movie. I'm not sure.
No, same universe.
Crossover approved.
Yeah.
Man, I am everything Tim Curry said in this movie. I laughed my ass
gold.
off at. Gold.
Yeah.
Sheer gold.
Now, my least favorite part is Charlie Sheen.
That's funny.
I just don't find it ironic. He kind of takes me out of it. Like,
Really?
yeah, he hasn't done the Robert Downey Jr. yet. Like, I put them in the same
True.
category back in the 80s where they're just like
Yeah.
cokehead, crazy assholes, except Charlie Sheen got AIDS. Or HIV.
HIV.
But, you know, RDJ, or Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, RDJ.
Yeah, you got it right.
I did. Yeah, he turned it around, became Iron Man, and like, you know, yeah, I don't see Charlie Sheen doing that. He's still
He
kind of just a
apologized
creep.
to Tokyo, and they let him back in.
Yeah,
Charlie Sheen will
Sheen's-
never have a comeback.
I mean, 2.5 Men was his comeback.
Was it, though?
I didn't watch it. That's what people say, though.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
I don't know.
Robert Downey Jr. became fucking Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. created the Marvel Cinematic Universe, essentially.
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of faith in him with that movie.
And look what fucking happened.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Marvel movies, but hey.
God damn it.
So here you go. That's my favorite and least favorite. And one little paragraph.
Seriously, though, if you haven't seen this movie in a long time, like I haven't, it's so worth a rewatch. It's such a fun movie. Just swashbucklings. It's so stupid, but it's so fun.
I'm gonna kind of disagree. It's a good movie.
You were distracted the whole time with Instagram.
Well, I can't help that my ass is famous. I have many followers who need my attention. No, it's a fun movie, but it's not like I would, pay for it or like run to the hills to go see it again. Like if it's on, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pay for it again. Well, I did pay for it.
Yeah, you did pay for it.
I rented it from Amazon.
It's no Muppet Treasure Island. That's all I'm saying.
I'm never gonna do that movie if you keep fucking bringing it up.
Oh, you will, because our listeners have already demanded it.
Way later. There's so much more we have to get to before we get to Muppet Treasure
It's
Island.
got Tim Curry in it.
We should do a whole Tim Curry month.
Our whole podcast has been a Tim Curry month.
That's quite a true statement.
Okay, so we're gonna do another episode here shortly, a little bonus episode, right?
Yeah.
We'll give a little sneak preview for that because we did meet some of our fans this weekend and give out some stickers at Dragon Con and
at Dragon Con.
Yep. And so
Con.
If you want to listen to our bonus episode here in a minute, it's going to be basically us talking about us going to the con.
Yeah, pretty much our debrief.
Yep.
Anyway, thanks for listening, guys, and we will see you next time.
Adieu.
Adieu. Adieu. Hey guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to the Fluent Nerd. Join us next week. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the Fluent Nerd. If you like what you heard, please leave us a 5-star review somewhere, wherever you get your podcast. Also, tell your friends about us. Seriously, text one right now or shout if you happen to be in public. You can send your feedback, show ideas, or behind-the-scenes stories to thefluentnerd@gmail.com. God bless America. We want to give a special thanks to our musical talent, Sean Ryan. Please go check him out on Instagram, SoundCloud, and Facebook. And we will see you all
en route.
next week.
Femme fatale.